Iwakuni city of the Yamaguchi prefecture. It's the 5th of May, the last day of Golden Week. As a customary practice, every year an aviation show is put on, known as Friendship Day. As we enter through the gates to the base, we can see a very large space, surrounded by a lot of aircrafts. I suppose you'd need a lot of space for a show like this. On the other side, there are a lot of aircrafts lined up side by side. I wonder where we should start. The first noticeable thing has to be this very huge aircraft. It is the Lockheed UP-3D. This is a variant of the Lockheed P-3 Orion that is one of the most major surveillance aircrafts from Western allies. It is used for electronic warfare support training against military vessels, and if necessary, will tow targeted ships or scatter chaff. The lines on the nose of the plane look kind of like whiskers. It's kind of cute. It looks a bit like a seal, doesn't it? That large vessel over there seems to have departed. Maybe it's headed to Hiroshima? Over here is a plane that's even bigger than the last one we saw. It's the Shin Meiwa US-1A for air-to-sea rescue work. Since it's a flying boat, it can also land and depart from the surface of the water, which makes it possible to access isolated islands where there are no airfields. Another plus point is that its cruising range is a lot larger than helicopters and can quickly reach places that are far out. The pitch black nose is huge. I wonder what's inside. This is the Lockheed F-22 Raptor. It is a 5th generation jet fighter aircraft and is the world's first stealth fighter. The radar images projected of it are smaller than a bird, and it is capable of sustaining supersonic flight without using afterburners. At present, it is the world's strongest fighter jet. More importantly, it's actually come to Japan, hasn't it? Look at the two flashy fighter jets lined up over here. The white one is the YF-19, and the blue one is the YF-21. They're still at the testing stages, and in the midst of deciding which of the two will be officially used. It'd be pretty funny if with this, even fellow pilots started fighting over it, eh? An air battle between pilots of a test craft. There seems to be something strange, but I'm sure it must be a stealth feature. An invisible fighter plane isn't just for show. But I don't think it's okay for you guys to be riding on it. This large helicopter is used for minesweeping and transportation and is known as the CH-53 Super Stallion. It's the biggest helicopter in the West. There are a few derivations of it, and it's also used in the self-defense force. It's a skyrocket. But it's not that pretty. Fireworks are still the best at night. Is this an airplane? Helicopter? There's something suspicious about its frame, isn't it? I wonder if this can actually fly. With a frame like that, how it lands and whatnot is a mystery. Maybe the pilot has to look at the back, or should I say the bottom, in order to land? It seems difficult. This is the Sikorsky CH-53E Sea Dragon. It's one of the derivations of the Sea Stallion helicopter we saw earlier. The Self-Defense Force is currently operating 10 of these, but they will be retired in the near future. The crafts that will be succeeding them seem to have already been decided as well. The craft where there are a lot of people is the C-130 Hercules. Its maiden flight was more than half a century ago, and even now it's still being revised and manufactured. It's a bestseller for tactical transportation. Those two dancing over there are, according to the pamphlet, they are the grey dancers that have come from Area 51. They're kind of out of sync, aren't they? It'd be better if they were dancing more in unity. Since the C-130 is designed for using short and unprepared runways, it is capable of desert and Antarctic operations. The ease of use and the capability of the C-130 have people saying it's the world's most supreme transport aircraft. The rocket is launching. Here's to hoping that space development will make progress. also a transportation craft called the Kawasaki C1 and is a local product of Japan. Because of the restriction of its operational range due to Japanese policies at the time, and the fact that it is becoming outdated, a new model currently under development will be taking its place in 2013. On the other side is a lot of fairly gigantic things. According to the pamphlet, that's where the buses should be parked. Did tourists arrive on those? I guess that's how all these visitors arrived here. Taking a closer look, what a junk! The people that rode these must be pretty brave. I guess she may not look like much, but she's probably got it where it counts. The size of its fuselage compared to the engine is pretty big. She'll make 0.5 past light speed. This one's a light brown, but perhaps it's rusted? It seems like a lot of people can ride it, but it looks pretty slow. Since it's got cracked wheels, if it tried to speed up, it might be pretty bumpy. Scary. This also looks like it served its time. They all seem really old. It's the Hayabusa! The Hayabusa! Moreover, it's floating? It's just being suspended by wires. That surprised me. I saw its last moments on the internet. It wasn't broadcasted on live TV, so... I wonder what this round thing is. Is it also a machine used for space development? I've seen this one in the news before. It's the Mitsubishi ATDX Shinshin. ATDX is an acronym for Advanced Technology Demonstrator and has been developed for research purposes. Next to it, there's a strangely shaped airplane. I've never seen one of these fly before. It seems like it'd have a strange way of flying. Over here are crafts that were used in the Second World War. One is the Kyushu J7W1 Shinden. I was wondering why it was facing the opposite direction, but actually the propeller is reversed. The propeller seems to, rather than pull the craft, push it. It's a different shape, but it definitely seems fast. And over here is the Zero fighter plane. As we'd expect, it's really popular. Its formal name is the Mitsubishi Navy Type 0 carrier fighter. From pre-war days to post-war days, it's the most famous of Japanese aircrafts. As a result of the unreasonable request from the army for a craft that is thoroughly built and lightweight, it is designed much more smarter compared to those from other countries built at the same time. This is a replica that was built for the movie Zero Sen Moyu, but at present there are still many Zero fighter planes around. Many are captured planes being restored, but reverse engineering works are also being done. And that brings us to the end of the Iwakuni Friendship Day. It's not everything, but we've taken a tour from the start to the end. Well, how about that? This year as well, there were a lot of people that gathered for the event. It seemed like a record high of 270,000 visited. This is an event that's done every year, so if you're interested, it's definitely worth at least one visit.